Well, today is the fourth Sunday of Easter. Last Sunday I noted that during Easter our lectionary does the striking thing of replacing the Old Testament readings with the Acts of the Apostles. And it does that every year, and it has been doing that for 1,700 years. And it is a marvelous logic that after the cross you understand what it does. But that is the first reading. We also have a second reading. Now, in the medieval ages, the second reading during Easter were moved around for 1,700 years, even before that, in the ancient times. Sometimes it was 1 John, some centuries was 1 Peter, sometimes it was Revelation. There's no consistent pattern. But the modern lectionary moved from a one-year cycle to a three-year cycle so that more of the Bible could be read. And so now, each Easter season, we rotate through what was read in every age. 1 year it's Revelation, 1 year it's 1 John, and this year it's 1 Peter. And so today in our second reading from 1 Peter, we come to a famous verse, often called the Christus Exemplar verse. Christus Exemplar means Christ is our example. Now here it is in 1 Peter 2:21. This is the prime verse of that idea, where we read, "For to this you were called," it says, "because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example." Christus Exemplar. And you know what is striking about that verse in all the epistles? In most epistles, we're told what Christ did for us, doing what we could never do for ourselves. But here, we're told what Christ did before us, and we are now called to imitate. Here, Christ is not only our Savior in this verse, He's also our pattern. Not only our Redeemer, but also the footsteps that we must follow. And what part, in particular, what part does the Christus Exemplar verse bring before us as the pattern that we should pattern ourselves after? "For to this you were called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example." Do you notice that suffering? Suffering, learning how to be wronged well, is the Christ path. And it makes sense, right? I mean, in the world, any beast can strike back when it feels struck. And we, humans, we can complain whenever we feel crossed. But to bear pain with patience, to be injured and return mercy, to sorrow without becoming sour, or to be wronged without doing wrong. Whenever you find it, well, that is the smell of Christ on earth. And wherever it is seen, it is the bright fingerprint of God on a man or on a woman. And so the question is that us? And that question reminds us of our need to confess. So hear this from Psalm 51:3. "For I acknowledge my transgressions, my sin is always before me." If you are with us today and are able, you're invited to kneel. Come, let us worship and bow down and kneel before the Lord our God, our Maker.